It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Expedia.com, where you can find yours with Expedia. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and I welcome you to the Day in Tech History at dayintechhistory.com. It's part of the Tech Podcast Network. You can subscribe via iTunes, Zune, or Stitcher Internet Radio. Our Twitter is Day in Tech Hist, and all show notes are on the wiki page if you want to follow along. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. September 9th, 1886. The Berne Convention for the Protection of Literacy and Artistic Works, developed at the instigation of Victor Hugo, is finalized, governs copyright, and establishes the rights of an author. 1934, the first American rocket to break the sound barrier was launched by the American Rocket Society from Marine Park in Staten Island, New York. ARS-4 had a single thrust chamber with 4 canted nozzles. 1941, Dennis Ritchie was born. Dennis would go on to develop the C programming language and have his hand in creating Multics and a Unix operating system. He died on October 8th of 2011. 1945, Grace Hopper records the discovery of the first actual computer bug at the Naval Weapons Center in Virginia by the computer's operators in her logbook with the explanation, first instance of an actual computer bug being found. The bug was literally just that, a moth that had been stuck between Relay 70 and Panel F of the Harvard Mark II Aiken relay calculator. 1947, relay number 70 in Panel F of that Mark II computer fails. The computer, of course, used in World War I temporary building. The day was hot and the windows were open. Upon examination of the relay, it discovered the moth that became trapped, and the computer was beaten to death by the relay. 1967, JVC unveils the VHS video home system, half-inch video cassette recorders in Tokyo. 1977, the first TRS-80 computer is sold. 1981, DataPoint and Tandy announced an agreement to allow Tandy TRS-80 computers to use network technology from DataPoint to connect up to 255 Tandy computers to central storage or printers. 1983, Nintendo released the platform game Mario Brothers for NES in Japan. It was a spin-off of the Donkey Kong series. 1986, at the Palladium in New York, Compaq Computer introduces the Compaq Desk Pro 386, the first 8386-based computer offered by a major computer manufacturer. The prices would start at $6,449. 1995, Sony released the PlayStation video game system in the United States for $299.99. And PSX Magazine, the magazine centered around PlayStation, hits newsstands for their premiere issue. 1997, Apple Computer announced that it would not spin off its Newton Systems group as it had announced in May. 1998, IBM unveiled the world's first, smallest and lightest hard drive with a disk platter about half the size of a large coin. And Intel released the 300 MHz mobile Pentium 2 processor. Version 0.9.0 of PHP MyAdmin was released. And in 1999, on the day 9999, which was a cause for concern, caused very few difficulties other than feared among programs designed to acknowledge 9999. Also in 1999, Hasbro acquired Wizards of the Coast, an American game publishers that produced Pokemon trading cards and Dungeons & Dragons games, for $325 million. And Sega released the Dreamcast video game system in the United States for $199. Within hours of the initial launch, the internet was flooded with stories of problems. And now this word from our friends over at Expedia. Las Vegas, Jamaica, San Francisco, China, New York, Portland, Florida. Have you been? Maybe you're from there and you need to start planning your trip home for the holidays. Now is the time to do that. With rates at their lowest for November and December, you can get great deals in planning your trip. That's where Expedia comes in, from air travel, hotels, cars, and full vacation packages. Because Who doesn't want to be in a warm city during the coldest of winters? You can also earn Expedia points so you can use them on more trips all around the world. Get $25 off your first hotel booking at Expedia. Go over to geekazine.com/Expedia for more details. Over at Expedia, find yours. Now let's get back into your day in tech history. September 9th, 2002, Microsoft released Service Pack 1 for Windows XP. Most notable new features was USB 2.0 support and a set program access and defaults utility. And version 0.5 of Camino, an open-source GUI-based web browser based on Mozilla's Gecko, was released. 2003, Adrian Lamo, a gray hat hacker infamous performance unsolicited penetration testing on the networks of Fortune 500 companies, surrendered to federal authorities and was charged with hacking the New York Times. 2004, version 0.6.1 of the desktop Light Linux, or Deli Linux, was released. 2006, a portion of the source code for Black Mesa, third-party total conversion mod for the first-person shooter Half-Life 2, was leaked on the boards. 2008, an investor newswire service, which Google posted, reported an article about the United Airlines filing for bankruptcy. The article caused a lot of commotion and caused the stock to drop. The problem with the article was that it was 6 years old. Also in 2008, Steve Jobs said in what was hailed as the Let's Rock event that NBC Universal is back on iTunes, and their shows, as well as those from other content providers, will now be available in high definition for $2.99 each. Also in 2008, Opera joins the Symbian Foundation, and New York City upgraded their 911 system to actually accept photos and videos sent in by callers. 2009, Pandora, the online custom radio station, launched an application for Android devices. And iTunes 9 was released. 2010, a study at Glasgow Glendian University is putting together MP3 playlists. These lists were being studied that would actually change a person's mood. And in 2011, Script Kiddies hack NBC News and report of a fake attack on Ground Zero. And that's your day in tech history. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at DayInTechHist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2014 JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.